So the first flavor we'll make is honey vanilla. The #1 flavor in the whole world is vanilla. It's also, I found, the hardest ice cream to make because I like my ice creams to be, don't mind me.
No, I won't.
Okay. I like my ice creams to be not only very flavorful, but also sweet. So you'll try this, you'll see what it is. It's a good basis for anything else you want to add to it. And I'll show you what we do that's the important secret things about it. First, we're going to take 5 quarts of mix, which is, in my machine, a half a batch. Okay.
You're running the 10 quart, the 12 quart.
Right.
Okay.
Okay, he's gone. We can talk about anything we want. So the 5 quarts, you're going to write this down, I guess, right? 5 quarts of mix. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Now, do you know what that means? You guys haven't worked with the machines yet, but when that happens, it could mean one of 2 things. The gate isn't closed all the way, but usually these have come a little loose. These aren't. Ah, that one is. So that's it. It's no big deal. Unless you forget to leave the gate closed and then it spews all over the floor, but that's another issue. I like to use an ounce of liquid vanilla. Well, before we get to that, let me do this. I cut the beans to get the little specks and the flavor into the ice cream. So I use 1 bean per quart, which is costly, but well worth it. And the way we do it, the way I do it, is I take a very sharp knife and I cut off the curly ends of each of the beans, and then I make a slit down the middle, or close, and spread it open, and then take the other side of the knife and run it down, and you get all those beautiful vanilla seeds. And I've done, while Steve was making his ices, I did that to a bunch of beans so that we have the innards. And what I do is, and you should do this too, with the husks, after you scrape them, put them in a bottle of cheap vodka and just keep throwing them in every time you use husks and store it in a dark place. And in about a week, you'll have better vanilla than you can buy anywhere. And you don't have to use good vodka, cheap vodka, the cheapest you can find. I use the 175s, the big bottles, and just throw everything in there, all the little ends that you cut off, all the beans, or everything, just the garbage that you would normally throw out. And in about 30 days, because you'll keep doing this, you'll have just amazing vanilla, like the best vanilla. You won't even want to use it on your everyday ice cream. You'll save it for special ice creams. So then we put the beans in there. You all know what those little specks look like in the ice cream. Breyers, I think, was famous for that, for the little specks in the ice cream. Now, I always add liquid, and no offense to you guys, but I didn't want to waste my good vanilla on this class. So I used Steve's vanilla. I shouldn't have said that. So that's all right. It's honest anyway. So how many ounces would I use then? Boy, sharp class, sharp group. So 5. And then the main ingredient in this is the honey. Honey's not honey. You can buy honey for $12 for this size, or you can buy it for $100 for this size. I buy the best honey I can. Now, there's about 8 different kinds of honey, and you'll have to decide what flavor you like. Today we're using orange blossom. Not one of my favorites, but again, it's for you guys. This is about $60. What I like is about 125. It's good stuff. Anyway, so we'll use 20 ounces of honey. Yes, sir.
What is the one that you like? I know you're not using.
Well, there's one honey that I really like, but it's so damn expensive. It's sourwood. It's called sourwood honey. But there's a lot of different kinds of honey, and it's really what you like, not what I like, even though I know best. So we're going to use 20 ounces of honey. 20 ounces. Now, if you're price conscious on how much your ice cream is costing you, which I'll get into tomorrow in my class more in depth, but you have to figure out how much your ingredients cost to make a batch of ice cream. My ingredients run between $40 and $60 for a batch of ice cream, which is high. But that's why my business is successful, because they flock to taste these ice creams. So 20 ounces of honey. These machines are going to mix the product for you. In earlier classes, I used to come with my famous paint mixer, which I attached to a drill, and I would combine all these ingredients here and then put it in. But I really found that with these machines, you don't have to. The only thing I like to do is have the machine running when I'm adding something that's a little heavier than liquid. So I'll start the machine and then we'll add the honey. And of course, we're going on super premium ice cream, which will be at 234?
No, 170.
170, I knew that. So the honey goes in now that it's mixing. And because it's so expensive, I didn't hear that. What do you ask? 10. I always use 10. I think you always use 10 also, don't you, Steve?
I do.
One second. I can't hear you while the machine's running here. Hang on 1 minute.
The reason I'm using 10, well, just doing that real quick. Back in New York, we might run 14% butterfat. And if you're running 14%, I'm going to run 16%, just so I can say I'm the richest ice cream in New York. No other good reason. Haagen-Dazs is 16. Ben & Jerry is just about there, too. You come down to Florida, and I was surprised how few ice cream parlors there are, because we Northerners come down with our Northern attitudes of high-fat ice cream, and you go out on a 100-degree day with 100% humidity and eat a 16% butterfat ice cream, you're going to drop dead in the parking lot, and it's not good for business. It will give you a stomach ache. It'll make you sweat. The body can't assimilate that much high fat in a hot climate. So anything below Washington, D.C., I'm pretty much running a low-fat ice cream. 10, 12, 14's okay. I prefer a 10 or a 12 so that it's not the fat that you're eating, it's the flavor. Again, nobody ever walked out of an ice cream parlor saying, that's the fat content I ever ate. They say, that mint chip was great. It wasn't chalky, it was refreshing. I feel like I could go back and get another one. That's the perfect ice cream. It's a balance of the air content, the fat content, and most important of all, the flavor.
Yes, sir. Boy, I must be going deaf. What did you say? 5 quarts.
Quarts of what you call mix. Where did that, is that just something you bought off the shelf? You made that mix?
Ah, okay. Mix, where do you live?
I live in Vero Beach, Florida.
Oh, perfect. You can buy this from 2 companies in Florida. One is the Ice Cream Club down in Hillsborough. Where are they?
St. Pete.
No, the Ice Cream Club.
Oh, ice cream club's in Boynton Beach.
Boynton Beach. Or you can get it from Dairy, what is it called?
Dairy Mix
Dairy
in
Mix
Sarasota.
in St. Petersburg.
St. Pete.
And they'll deliver it chilled, refrigerated, right to your door. If you don't have access to this, go into another business. No, just kidding. If you don't have access to this, there are ways around it, but not comfortable ways. But this is an easy fix, especially for you and Vero.
This is a combination of milk, cream, skim milk powder, and sugar. And this came out of the cow yesterday and was bought by Dairy Mix Ice Cream
really
Club.
yesterday.
And it was blended together 500,000 gallons at a time by dairy scientists who know exactly how much to put in. They know the difference between a Holstein and a Jersey and a Guernsey cow. They know that cows produce more heavy cream in the winter than they do the summer. They take all these factors into account so that you get a consistent product. The problem with this product is the name. We call it mix. It's a dairy term, and it's just a horrible name. This is a beautiful blend of the freshest products you can get put together by people who really know what they're doing. When you order this, do you specify the blend? No, because you really don't know the blend. You don't know how much cream in July to use as opposed to how much cream in February. So it's sold by percentage of fat, 10, 12, 14, 16. And to give you an example, whole milk is 4% fat. Low-fat milk is 2% fat. Now, if you've ever tasted the two, you know there's a world of difference between whole milk and low-fat milk. And yes, it's only 2 percentage points. So jumping from 10 to 12 is a dramatic jump. But again, depending on your market, it may not be the right product for your market. In Florida, I think it's too high a fat.
Once again,
Milk, cream, skim milk powder, and sugar.
and a bunch of other things, but that's not really important. Right, all that stuff. It's important to learn how to make a recipe. Sure, you can buy my book, and I hope you do, and it has 21 or so just terrific recipes in it that can keep you going for years. But I hope you want to experiment, because you don't want to be, hopefully you want to be more of an artist than a chemist. And that's an important distinction. So anyway, when you work on a recipe, which it's a little too long to go into now, but get yourself some file cards and work it, and then keep changing it as you're making the recipe. You'll start with a basic idea of what you want to make, but then you may say, you know what, I need a little more strawberries. So you add it and then make sure to continue it. When you get it set, how you like it as your basic recipe, go ahead and laminate them on cards, and you can keep them in a file box in your store or whatever, and that will grow. I have, I don't know, 200 up by now, and we carry 40 flavors all the time. So 200, and I've got 40 on hand, so I always have something I can go to. Interesting story. Yeah, they all want to hear it. Okay, the other day, what you'll find, what I find, is that you always want to make new flavors. That's the bane of this existence, because you just can't have 100. 40 is really pushing it. I have 40 fresh on hand every day. The other day, I was reading online of the most popular flavors in the world. Number one in the whole world. Number one is obviously vanilla. Number two, obviously, chocolate. Number three wigged me out a little bit. Number three, what did you think number three might be?
Butter pecan?
Believe it or not, yeah, butter pecan. It was butter pecan. You know, that's good, and we sell it, and I make it, but it's butter pecan. Now, number four was a complete shocker. Number four, Reese's Peanut Butter Cup ice cream. So, I decided, well, if that's number four in the world, I gotta make it. I gotta make it. So, I went to the store, and I went to the candy aisle. This is how I think. I went to the candy aisle, because you can go and buy stuff like that. I went to the store, and I went to the candy aisle, and I saw big bricks of Reese's peanut butter, chocolate, bricks, like Hershey's, only thick and bricks. So I bought, I guess, 10 of them. And they were like $4 each or something, but I bought 10 of them, not knowing what I was going to do. Get back to the store, and I started making this recipe. So I used, now it's obviously two things. It's peanut butter and chocolate, but it's milk chocolate in Reese's. They use milk chocolate and peanut butter. And it's not peanut butter, it's like their peanut butter, which is a little different. So I took all those bars and I froze them. Then, after they were frozen, I guess that next day or something, I put them in the secret blending machine, which only they know about right now, but it's an amazing thing. I'll tell you at the break. Anyway, it pulverized these things, so I had powder, much the same as the M&M powder. Hang on. What? No, that's for the coconut. So I pulverized them, and then I set up my little station on how to make a recipe, which is adding a little mix, pre-measured amount, and then a little of this stuff, pre-measured, my vanilla, pre-measured. Anyway, all the things I needed, and then I wanted a little more chocolate, so I added my secret chocolate, which is Ghirardelli's chocolate powder, and I made my little combo, and I tasted it, and it was good. Not great. It was good. So I then went back to my shelves and I said, well, peanut butter and chocolate. So I took a jar of Skippy Super Chunk and I whacked off a little of that. And then I went to my favorite chocolate, which is Fox's You Bet. Anybody know about that? No. It's a northern thing. Anyway, so I then doctored that, and then I had it. Then I had my flavor. So I made it, and it came out wildly great. And I'm able to call it on my menu board Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Ice Cream because my base was Reese's Pieces. Is this an oil painting out here? They all look like, look at this, they're blank.
Fascinated by what you have to say.
Yeah, I don't think that's the word. So anyway, so that's one of our flavors. By the way, number 5, believe it or not, pistachio. So those are the top 5 flavors in the world. Pistachio is ridiculously hard to make for me because you have to use a lot of chemical, to get that flavor. You can pour all the pistachio nuts you want and you're not going to get that pistachio flavor. But anyway, so that's the story of Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Ice Cream, and it came out really good. So
a lot more flavor because you use the peanut butter and you use the chocolate, whereas the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups is a horrible thing to begin with because it's sugar and a little bit of peanut butter in that filling. So you're getting the flavor because you're using that real peanut butter.
well, I started with the Reese's Blocks. Reese's Blocks. They're this thick and they're this big, and they have square designations on them, and you break them.
But they still have that filling.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
But see, there's a lot of sugar in that filling.
Hello, it's ice cream.
Yeah, I know, but you're getting your flavor from the real peanut butter.
Well, no, I think I'm getting most of the flavor from their bars.
But you said you didn't like it when you used it.
Yeah, I know. I said it was good. Did I say I didn't like it? How many people heard me say it was good?
Sorry, I think good is.
After the break, switch to someone in the back. Yes, sir.
In order to make an ideal Reese's flavor, you have to use Reese's, or could you use any?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. The question was, in order to make that flavor, do you have to use Reese's? No. You can use Walmart peanut butter chocolate flavored bits, but I wanted to call it Reese's on my sign. So that's why I started with that. And money is no object to me when it comes to making ice cream because you're always going to get that back. I mean, don't worry about it. If it costs you $40 or $80 to make a batch, you're going to get it back. Hang on one second. Oh, it's ready.
Ow. Can you stand to the side so they can see it on camera? Can you all see this? This is the ice cream ready, coming out.
You're going to need another container to save it if you want.
Yes.
And I know how you don't throw out anything I make.
No, I eat it all. I'll tell you a trick about Jeff's ice cream, and I would do with mine if I made good ice cream. is when you get to my age, sometimes you have to go see specialists. You have to go see an eye specialist or whomever. And all these guys are the same. They make your appointment for 3 in the afternoon, and they tell you bring War and Peace because you're going to be there for a couple hours. Because it turns out that 15 other people had the same 3 o'clock appointment. So you get to these specialist doctors, and you sit there and you wait and you wait and you wait. I don't wait for doctors. And it's not because I'm an arrogant SOB, which I can be anyway, but it's because I bring ice cream. I bring in tubs of ice cream and cups and spoons, and the nurse says, oh, fine, I'll give that to the doctor. No, you won't. I will give it to the doctor. And I sit down, and it's sitting there melting, and they know it's melting, and they know it's out here, and there may be 15 people in that office, but I get in first. And I am not beyond doing that. I think it is a shameless thing to do.
Shamelessly, I do the same thing. I bring ice cream wherever I go. Come up and have some.
Now, if I want to push the rest of this out, I can manually bump the speed up.
The spoon's over there.
Steve, how do you know when that's done?
The way you know the ice cream's run is you can open the you can open the gate and close
sure.
it quickly. And if it cuts off like a knife went through it, it's ready. If it oozes out, it's not quite ready. It's just that simple.
Sammy, come here, girl.